What could be better than the perfect egg sandwich? There's a few components, but each one is completely worth it. First, make a really quick harissa. If you haven't made harissa, it is super simple, and I'm making it even easier with jarred roasted peppers. Next, a delicious aioli, which is really just mayonnaise that's flavored, and it is so good. Layered in between the two sauces are of course a fried egg, but even better, sauteed Swiss chard. You saute the stems first to get them all tender, and then you add in the greens, let them wilt. It comes together in this delicious component, all layered up in a sandwich, and you will not know what could be better. And it's all coming up on today's Wise Guide. I mean, we all love egg sandwiches. They're around, you see them. Let's not even talk about the gross, though, early morning ones that you can go through the drive-thru on, okay? Because no, that is not an egg sandwich. That is just a flat, sad, I don't even know what. This, on the other hand, is like an adult egg sandwich. It has tons of flavor, a little bit of spice, thick cut some sourdough. I mean, guys, come on. This is an amazing egg sandwich. And if you're gonna have a brunch, or if you're gonna have people over, or if you just wanna satisfy yourself because you know what? Sometimes we just need a little happiness. You wanna make this egg sandwich. I'm kind of changing it up. I'm taking a fresh take. I'm gonna add some sauces that aren't normal, but the flavor bomb that is gonna be going off in your mouth, yeah, you're gonna say thank you. To start, you just wanna make a harissa. If you haven't made harissa, let me tell you something. You're missing out. It's a North African, kind of a pepper sauce or paste. I love it. I use it on everything. I'll dip vegetables in it. I'll put it on top of fish. I'll just kind of use it as almost a dip, which, okay, that might be a little much. You're gonna be thinking, whoa. But to make it could not be any easier. To start, you just wanna heat up some oil in a small skillet. Once it's heated, just add in your onion and let it saute till it's softened. Once it's softened, you can add some green or red chili. I happen to have green ready in the garden right now. They haven't turned red yet because, you know, it just hasn't been long enough. So I'm gonna use the green. I'm taking out the pith and the seeds because one, that's where a lot of the extra heat sits. The pepper's still gonna be hot, but it's just not gonna be like cloyingly wanna like hurt yourself hot. You're gonna be able to talk after you eat it that way. Chop it up. Don't worry about being too even or perfect with these cuts because we're gonna blend it all together later. I know, isn't that nice? It's like you can just be lazy. Once that's chopped up, you can just add it in with the onion and let that soften too. You don't need these to brown or get too dark. You're just letting them really soften. Once the pepper starts to soften, you can add in some garlic. I just like to cut off the ends of my garlic, smash them with the flat side of my knife, pull off the skin because it pulls off easier when it's smashed, and then chop them up. Throw them right in, just cook them for about 30 seconds until you really start to smell the garlic because it can go from nicely cooked garlic to burned garlic really fast. Once the garlic is slightly cooked, you can add in your spices. I like to use already ground spices for this. It's a little quicker. Yeah, you could toast them first, but we're making a sandwich. We want to streamline this, people. Add in some coriander, cumin, and sweet paprika. Guys, seriously, these together are just like, hello. And then add in some salt and stir it up. The reason we're adding in these dry spices now is sometimes dry spices get a little bit stale or just kind of like blah. When you put them in some hot oil, it really wakes them up and makes all the flavors come alive. So believe me, it's worth it. Let that go for about 20 to 30 seconds and then add in some tomato paste. I love this tube tomato paste because then you can just keep it in your fridge. You don't have to open up like a whole can of tomato paste, which we've all been there with that sitting in our fridge. Just stir around the tomato paste and really cook it out. That's gonna help get off that tin or kind of acrid taste that sometimes it can be almost too sharp when it's fresh. Cook it out, let it marry with all the flavors, then pull it off the heat. At this point, you can just assemble and blend. I'm making this easier. Usually you'd have to roast a whole pepper or two, let them get blackened all over under a broiler, on a grill, or on top of your stove. Then let them sit, then pull off the skin. You know what's easier? Jarred roasted peppers. Yeah, they're a dream. I always keep them around because you can just throw them into anything. Hummus, salads, whatever. Throw the drained pepper right into a jar. Add in all that flavor, oil, onion, spice mixture, and then blend it. I just use an immersion blender because it's easier, but if you wanna use your blender, that's awesome. Once it is more into a sauce consistency and all broken down, you can just set it aside till you're ready to use it. I mean, seriously though, guys, taste at this point because it's like, wow. If you haven't made mayonnaise or aioli, let me tell you something you're missing out. I do not buy mayonnaise anymore. I just quickly make it, and here's how I do it. In a jar, put 1 whole egg, add a squeeze of lemon juice, a little bit of mustard, whatever I have on hand, usually it's stone ground or Dijon, a garlic clove, that's what makes this aioli, and then some salt and pepper. Blend that up with your blender or immersion blender until it's smooth, and then with that blender running, slowly add in your oil. As it's blending, that oil is gonna emulsify and create mayonnaise. It's really like magic. Then you're done. Yeah, seriously, this is how easy mayonnaise is, and guess what? There's not that long list of ingredients in this. It's just good. Set it aside and we can get ready the greens. To get the greens ready, I wanna start with a little bit of chopped onion. Just heat up some oil in a large skillet, add some diced onion. At this point, you of course need some salt and a little bit of pepper. While that's sauteing, just add in some red pepper flakes. This really wakes everything up. It's a nice little spice. The harissa, don't worry, is not too spicy, so it's nice to have a nice spice component just to kind of tingle your tongue a little bit. I think a sandwich needs to have all components. Some good sauce for flavor, a crunchy component, and that's gonna be the greens. I'm using chard because I love it. I have a ton of it in the garden. It works really well in hot temperatures, so unlike lettuce and other greens that really go to seed when it gets hot here in Iowa, chard stays around, and I'm thankful for that. Take the fresh chard and remove the ribs or stems. You're doing this because they cook at a different rate than those leaves will. The ribs are a little bit more, so just take them off and then chop them up. Just do a nice even dice. You want them to saute at the same rate. At this point, add in some garlic. Again, just cut off the ends, smash them, dice them up, add it in for about 30 seconds till you really smell it. And then add in all the ribs from that chard. They're just gonna saute out, they're gonna soften and become much more palatable. Honestly, the stems are so delicious. I think we're used to thinking we have to throw them away, kind of like kale, but both kale, chard, any of those, chop up the stems first, saute them with some onion and oil, they get soft and they're delicious. Once the stems have sauteed and gotten soft, you can just roll all the leaves that we set aside, chop them because, it's just easier, and then throw them right into the skillet. In a few minutes, you're gonna have beautiful wilted greens. I love wilted greens. They're actually just delicious, extremely healthy, and these have a lot of flavor. Pull them off the heat, add in a little bit of lemon juice. Again, that slight acidity at the end just wakes everything up and really brings out all the flavors. To finish the sandwiches, you definitely need an egg because they're breakfast sandwiches. In a medium skillet, just heat up some oil. I like to heat olive oil because have you ever had an olive oil fried egg? Hello. Heat that up till it's slightly shimmering and then crack your egg right into it. I love when you get the sizzle around the egg right as you put it in because, you're gonna get that like crackling almost edge, guys. Once your eggs are in and starting to sizzle away, add some salt and pepper. Let them cook for a little bit until the edges are browning. Then what I do is just put a lid on it, turn off the heat, set them off, and let the tops just cook. I kind of like a soft yolk. I think it's delicious. But you can cook them however you like them. Set them aside and assemble your sandwiches. For this, I'm using a delicious hearty sourdough. I happen to make sourdough because I think it's just fun. I have that whole starter going, that you like feed every so often and wake it up and then make it. It's a thing, it's delicious. If not, just buy your favorite hearty bread. Slice up thick slices and then assemble. On the 2 pieces, I'm gonna put some harissa on one, spread it out, and some delicious aioli on the other one. I mean, seriously, you might be surprised, but the harissa and aioli together are like, what? There's like that tangy acidity and then like that creamy, smooth deliciousness. Guys, on top of the harissa, I like to put a nice pile of those sauteed greens because, it's good. Place those deliciously fried eggs on top of the aioli side, and then guys, you are ready to eat. Seriously guys, once you put these sandwiches together, oh my goodness, it is so good. You are gonna have that tangy harissa, you're gonna have the crunchy, wilted, delicious greens, topped with a perfectly olive oil fried egg, so you get those crackling like edges, and then the aioli. Together, this makes an amazing breakfast sandwich that is slightly elevated, but super easy and so good. I mean, seriously, you're gonna find thousands of ways to use harissa. If you agree and like this video, make sure to click like, share it, subscribe to the channel. For more awesome recipes, go to wiseguide.com, and for this recipe, check the description box below. Until next time, I better hear how you be loving this sandwich.